the overriding feeling after that? I guess you were in front in the game and you've come out with a point. How do you feel?
Yeah, a little bit deflated, but I think you've got to be proud of the players, getting the points out the game. Because I would say, I don't want to look back, but loads of people would be questioning that, saying, we'll go on to lose the game. But the character they showed, I think we probably should have won the game, to be honest. And I haven't seen it back because, obviously I haven't seen it yet. But what I can remember of it was just a corner, and two of our lads, there's no one near their players, and it's been a mix-up. So, we've got to put that right. But if you're not going to win the game, you don't lose it. It's as simple as that, and they showed the character to do that.
We often say that tight games are kind of resolved by a moment of quality or a mistake.
Yeah.
Have you seen both of those things for the 2 goals?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, at half-time, I was saying about the way we've been playing pre-season, the structure and the way we've gone about it has been really good. Not so much the results. I know we've won games and lost a couple, but the opposition's been really good. But then the test is then, can you do it live? Can you do it now when you're playing for 3 points? We just done it in flashes in the first half, I thought. And I think when we did do it in flashes in the first half, we were the better team. We got on the ball, we passed it. And they went long at times and went up to Nevitz and played off second balls and played in our half, And, we stood up to that task, if you like, as well, in that test. So little flashes in the first half, which we were really pleased with. And then to start the second half the way we did, and then, to get the goal and go in front was I thought we'll go on and get another one. But, as I said, if you can't win the game, don't lose it.
You talked before the game about you want to improve year on year, week on week even. If you're being analytical about it, was it not taking a chance for that second goal that's ultimately cost you? Because I think you had 2 or 3 chances.
Well, I think what's cost us is the mistake from the back. So, that was it from a set play. So when we all see it again, is that it's just a mistake. So, mistakes happen in the game. It's what you do next. And it was important that we responded and didn't give the 3 points away, or didn't give the points away that we had, if you like. So we can work on all the stuff we have been working on. Obviously, that we continue in terms of how we want to play and how we're going to try and win games. And I think we probably had their keeper was the busier keeper than ours. I think, as I said, the passes as a play at times and ending with a shot or a block and going out for the corner, I think was good for us. But we needed to do more. We had really good moments that we didn't really take advantage of. Shot straight at the keeper. But it's the first game. As I said, you've got lads who are missing 1 or 2 little niggles, and for Josh Smith to step in at left-sided centre-back and produce what he just produced against, seasoned players and good players as well, League 2 players. He's done really well.
How big an ask is that? He's only 19. He was playing Northern Prem on loan last season. How difficult is that for a player to step up like that? It's
difficult, but that's the challenge. I mean, that's why they're here. When you do rack your brains and say, I'll start getting other people on loan, which obviously we'll touch on in a bit, type of thing. But they're here for a reason, so you've got to give them a chance. So, we went on loan last year, as you just said. So, I could have moved certain people around and put certain people, I wouldn't say square pegs and round holes, but he's a defender. And we've seen what he's done in pre-season. We've seen how he goes about day to day. We know he sees how he conducts himself. And the test is now, can he go and produce that? And he just produced a performance which he can be proud of.
A word on your goal scorer, Tyler Walton, obviously scored 9 goals in all competitions for you last season. In fact, I think he scored the first goal of your season last year as well.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
How much of a difference can he make when he can produce a moment like that?
It does, but it's me. I want him to be better. I want him to be more consistent in the play. Tyler was brilliant, honestly. It was great in terms of his run, his athleticism, his power, his pace, and then to actually have to finish the quality at the end. That's what you'd expect. When he carries on producing that consistently, he doesn't play at this level, and that's what we want to see more of from Tyler. I want to see all the tidy things up, or to tidy him up. Basically, was when the ball comes into his feet and he's occupying 2 centre halves, or the centre half and the left back. Can he just lend a little pass backwards for a third man run forwards? Stuff that he's been doing, stuff that he showed, but when it comes live, then you as a player have to make them decisions. And if he starts getting more of them decisions right, he's going to go on to a big future.
You touched on missing a few. How concerned should we be about the sort of names, particularly defensively, that you're missing?
Yeah, well, just a little niggle on Ben's the back of his knee. So I think probably the rest of this week, and then we'll see where we are. I'll see where we are when we come out. What the physios say about today's game, how that's finished, and lads have come through unscathed. So just little niggles, and I've always been consistent with that. I said it last year. I know you touched on Tyler scoring the goal against Doncaster last year, so I'll touch on what I've always been consistent on. Anyone feels anything, they come out, I don't want to risk it. I'd rather lose them for a couple of games or a week than then losing them for a month or 2 months.
And just lastly, you said yourself, potentially the opportunity to get more in. You've got loan slots available. Has the staggered start not helped with stuff like that? Because lots of clubs higher up have not settled their squad yet.
That's exactly it, Dan. So, you might as well stand here. But it is that, and what we're trying to bring in is the right people. So we don't want to rush anything. We need to get in because our season started. But it is what it is. We're going to bring quality players in. That's for sure. We're going to add to the squad. So just watch this space, really. And
I guess it being game one, do you look at that as a base to build from?
You have to. But, the basis that they put down, if you like, and they were playing from the Blackpool and Blackburn and Everton and Wigan and what have you, and obviously Rotherham is so they're the level, they're the bar, they're the basis, there's everything that they've set in the standards. So it's our job to keep them at it, it's our job to keep improving, it's our job to keep reminding them of it. And the three things that I always say, which I'm not going to repeat anyway, is what I want from the players, from the squad, and the showing up. But the last one is the consistency. So I want that, we want that, me and Jeb Brannan. So hopefully we'll get that now going forward.